guys, welcome back to another episode of Kickstart UX. User research, a designer's best friend. It's how we prove or disprove our ideas. It's how we know when there's problems with products that we've already launched. A question that I got a while back was, how do large tech companies do user research? What are the methods that they use? So here's a very short summary. For general usability studies, where you just want to test, say, for example, whether one navigation system is better than the other, we bring out the handy-dandy lab study. Lab studies are great when you want to test a bunch of different features with a number of different participants all at once. It usually takes about 2 weeks to recruit participants, and then it takes a week to run the actual study, and then another week for a report to come out. So that's the general cadence that I've seen. If you don't have a lab, you can also intercept people on the street, intercept studies. I did this once in New York City. I went up to strangers and I asked them if they would be willing to give me user feedback in exchange for a $15 Starbucks gift card. And you can imagine New Yorkers are already very skeptical of strangers. So that was kind of uncomfortable to do. Another type of usability study is called the Rapid Iterative Testing and Evaluation method, also known as the RITE study. This is great when you have a bunch of things to validate and you have time in between each session to go and actually iterate on the feedback from the previous session. For foundational studies where you want to learn more about a general product area and not just like one specific UI and whether that works, sometimes it could be useful to have, say, a focus group, which is kind of what it sounds like. It's a bunch of people in a room talking for a couple hours about concepts or ideas that you just want to learn more about. There's also the diary study. Diary studies are great when you have a product or feature that requires longer term use before feedback is actually useful. So, for example, if you're building like a calendar app, you won't actually know how useful your calendar app is until that person's used the calendar app in their life to make events and things like that. And so diary studies usually last for 2 weeks or 2 months or some longer amount of time where feedback becomes more and more relevant the longer that person has experienced that product. Finally, there's the live experiment. Live experiments are great when you want to see how the addition of a new feature compares to that, existing product that you already have. This is used a lot on products that have millions or billions of users. Even if you're flipping on a live experiment for 1%, if you have 1 billion users, that's a lot of people. And that can give you a really good sense of, are people using your feature? Do they like it? Does it grow your product? And have it not affect the entire product? Instagram is constantly running live experiments. Facebook newsfeed, constantly running live experiments. Any other billion-plus user app, always running live experiments, guaranteed. I've gotten a ton of questions from a lot of people, so I'm still kind of going through the list. So if your question hasn't been answered yet, don't worry, I will get to it, and I will see you next time. Thanks.